This is a scenario-based ground training exercise. Print a copy of the problem answer sheet and have it ready to record your answers during the exercise. Have the tools you would normally use on a cross-country flight handy. Have your sectional and/or low-altitude IFR charts handy if you have them. Charts may be paper or electronic charts. If you don't have a printer, you may be able to use two electronic devices to enter the information or to view the problem answer sheet, sending in an editable Word form to allow you to do this. When you get all done, please send a copy of the exercise sheet back to me. Problem questions are placed throughout the presentation in yellow type. In this scenario, Dave, an Emporia-based pilot, owns a Cessna 172 November similar to a 733 Tango Kilo. His airplane is equipped with two Navcom radios that are similar to Avidyne 440s. The main differences between these radios and the stock Avidynes are the GPS system has been disabled and the radio panels have been modified to display the active and standby frequencies for both communication and navigation systems at the same time. So up here you have the communication frequencies on the top. White is the standby and green is the active one. Below you have the navigation frequencies. Again, white is the standby and green is the active one. Dave's making a 2-day flight from Emporia to Southern California. At first, Dave thought the best way to go would be to follow Victor 12 all the way to California, but he determined that the advanced military operating areas between Anthony VOR and Mitby VOR would likely be active. Dave decided to alter his flight as follows: to leave Victor 12 at Wichita VOR and rejoin Victor 12 at Amarillo by the following route. Take Victor 350 from Wichita to Liberal, and then take Victor 304 from Liberal to Panhandle, a VOR on the Amarillo Airport. This exercise follows a segment of the flight between Emporia and Liberal, beginning just east of Wichita. There's an overview of the flight. There's the advanced military operating area that Dave was concerned about flying through. If you look up here, here's where you would have gone following Victor 12, right down into the military operating area, and it can get quite busy down at Vance. Let's get started. Okay, we're proceeding west on Victor 12, approaching checkpoint 1. We took off from Emporia about 9 o'clock in the morning. Now it's almost 9:30. We are now arriving at the first checkpoint. Gather the following information and then pause the computer so that you can look at your map and make calculations from it. Notice on Nav2 what the frequency of the VOR is. And then look at the CDI for number 2 and see what the radial you're crossing is and record the time. Okay, taking off from there, we continue down Victor 12 towards the Wichita VOR. We're now 5 degrees past checkpoint 1. Checkpoint 2 is identified off a different VOR, so we're going to have to switch the radios to tune to the next checkpoint. Okay, we're proceeding west on Victor 12 again, 5 degrees east of checkpoint 2. . What is the name of checkpoint 2? What was the ground speed between checkpoint 1 and checkpoint 2? Probably need to pause again to make some calculations. Based on that ground speed, what is your estimated time of arrival over the Wichita VOR? Toggle nav2 from 117.1 to 113.8, which is Wichita VOR. We're going to have to reset the CDI to have the correct course to the Wichita VOR. Okay, we're continuing west on Victor 12. Nav1 is still set to Wichita. Nav2 is now set for Victor 350, the leg going west from Wichita to Liberal. We're passing exactly over the VOR station now at 9:45. Please record this time and check your estimate. The pilot has been really good at keeping the CDI needle centered. It takes great skill and luck to go directly over the station the way he did. Continuing west, the airplane is now a little bit south of course. Nav 1 is still set for the Victor 12 course from Emporia to Wichita. Nav 2 is still set for the Victor 350 leg that goes from Wichita to Liberal. A right turn is required to take up the new course. Pilot turns the airplane right to parallel the course indicated on Nav 2. Now parallel but slightly south or left of course is indicated by VOR 2. Right now we're following VOR 2. We're setting the VOR to the correct VOR 1 to the correct course for Victor 350. Now both VORs are set on course from Wichita to Liberal. Notice both needles are reading exactly the same too. Once we're satisfied that the current heading is parallel to Victor 350, reset the heading bug. Turning right to intercept the course. We are about to intercept the course. Turn left to the heading marked on the heading bug. And we are back on course, right on Victor 350. After we read these questions, you may want to pause the computer because there are 4 of them on this page, and you'll need to do a little bit of offline work. At what altitude is the airplane cruising? What is the standard temperature at this altitude? What is the true airspeed at this altitude? And how much is the headwind component? Why did the pilot choose this altitude to fly from Emporia to Liberal? Okay, switch nav 2 to the Liberal VOR. Adjust the CDI to the correct inbound course to the Liberal VOR. Note we're still too far from Liberal to get a valid signal. How far from Wichita along the Victor 350 do you estimate the current position is? How far is the airplane from Liberal now? Notice the time again. Notice that navigation 2 is beginning to receive Liberal. You can see the flag starting to clear. The flag starting to clear on CDI number 2. far west of Wichita along Victor 350 do you estimate the current position is? How far from Liberal is the airplane now? Nav2 now has a good signal from Liberal. It's time to turn Nav1 to Liberal and reset its CDI. How far west of Wichita along Victor 350 do you estimate the current position is? How far is the airplane from Liberal now? Thank you for participating in this exercise.